What if I told you that the biggest piece of self-help advice out there, just try harder, is a complete and total lie? Well, in this explainer, we're not just going to poke holes in that myth, we're going to tear it down completely and show you what actually works. Let's get into it.
Oh, you know this feeling. I know you do. You've got this huge goal. You're going to launch that business, finally get in shape, crush that project, but then you blink. And suddenly, 3 hours have just vanished into a social media black hole, and you haven't even moved from the couch. Sound familiar?
And the first thing you do is blame yourself, right? You think, I'm just lazy, or I just don't have the willpower. I'm here to tell you that is absolutely wrong. What if your brain isn't broken? What if it's actually doing exactly what it was designed to do? So let's start by tackling this head on. Let's talk about the great willpower lie. It's not this moral muscle that we've all been led to believe it is. The myth is that you can just flex your willpower, like a bicep. But the reality is, your behavior is a lot more like computer software. It's not about being morally strong or weak. It's about the program your brain is running in the background. So what is this software? Let's get into the science of why you feel lazy. It all comes down to the fact that you're running on a survival mode brain. See, for almost all of human history, our brains evolved for one thing: survive today. This, let's call it hunter-gatherer software. It's programmed to get quick rewards, save as much energy as possible, and always take the path of least resistance. It just wasn't built for abstract long-term goals like writing a screenplay. And there's a name for this. Neuroscientists call it cognitive ease. It's basically your brain's default setting to avoid hard stuff. It's why scrolling through TikTok feels completely effortless, but starting that big work assignment feels like climbing a mountain. Your brain isn't trying to sabotage you, it's just looking for the fastest, easiest dopamine hit. So please hear me on this. This is so important. Your struggle isn't a character flaw, it's a design conflict. You're running a brain built for the ancient savanna in a modern world that demands constant focus. And once you really understand that, everything starts to change. Because this is the moment you stop fighting your brain and you start working with it. It's time to stop being a victim of your own programming and become the engineer. Let's talk about how you can become the architect of your choices. The solution is this incredibly powerful idea called choice architecture. And it's simple, really. It just means you intentionally design your environment to make the stuff you want to do the easiest option, and the stuff you want to avoid a total pain. This is shown perfectly in this famous cafeteria study. All they did was move water to the front of the coolers, right at eye level, and they hid the sodas in the back. No posters, no lectures, nothing. The result? Water consumption just skyrocketed. They didn't change people's minds, they changed the path of least resistance. And you can do this in your own life. You're basically setting a trap for your future, lazier self. If you want to go to the gym in the morning, lay out your workout clothes the night before. Put them right next to your bed so you literally have to trip over them. You're not relying on motivation anymore. You're just making the good choice, the easy choice. Okay, so now that you've engineered your environment, let's add another tool to the blueprint. It's time to hijack your brain's existing programming. This right here is a simple but life-changing formula. It's a technique called habit stacking. See, your brain already has all these automatic pathways for things you do every single day, like pouring your morning coffee. So you hijack that existing loop by attaching a new habit to it. Instead of a vague goal like, I'll meditate more, you create a specific trigger. After I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 2 minutes. See how that works? This all ties into what James Clear calls the 4 laws of behavior change. To build a good habit, you have to make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. If you follow these laws, discipline stops being this constant struggle and starts to feel, well, almost automatic. Okay, so you've engineered your physical space, and you've started hijacking your habits. You're building a pretty incredible system. But your environment isn't just your desk or your kitchen. The most powerful and often the most difficult part to engineer is other people. The psychologist Carl Jung said something that is so key here. He said, everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves. When you start to change, that resistance you feel from the people around you, it's often not even about them. It's a mirror reflecting your own growth, and they're just reacting to it. You have to remember, your social circle is your environment. When you start to level up, it can make people who are comfortable, well, uncomfortable. Your growth becomes a mirror for their own inaction, and the herd will always try to pull the outliers back in.
So this is the final layer of your architecture. Surround yourself with people who see and reinforce the person you are becoming, not just the person you used to be. This right here is maybe the single most important takeaway from this whole thing. You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Just let that sink in for a second. Your goals set the destination, but it's the environment, the architecture you build. That's what actually gets you there.
So when it all comes down to it, the choice is yours. Are you going to continue to be a hostage to your brain's ancient programming and your social environment? Or are you going to become the architect, the engineer who builds a life where success is the path of least resistance?
If you are ready to stop relying on willpower and start winning by design, I want you to make a commitment. Right now, go to the comments and write, "I am the architect of my own mind." This isn't just about changing a habit. It's about reclaiming your life. Thank you for watching. Now go build.